dating is difficult. It's become harder and harder and harder, especially for young black ladies, professionals, because we firstly want to rationalize in our relationships like we do at work. And you study hard, you get an A. You work hard, you get a promotion, you see. But in relationships, the harder you work, the further you are from happiness. And I feel like as soon as a man has said to you once that you're up for possible marriage, like you're up for that possible promotion, you start doing the most, especially things that he has never asked you to do, and losing some of the things that he fell in love with you for. Some things like you see a character like Umadlamini in Isibaya, and he says, yo, no, Madlamini is real wife material, and then you start trying to be like Umadlamini. It's a little oppressive. It's quite in manipulation. But I find that in all the relationships that I've seen that have been successful, in all the true love lives here, relationships of my friends, I don't have one yet, the woman probably never had to change. There's a difference between being criticized and being manipulated, and being encouraged to do better. Those three things may be similar in the way that they are taken, but a real man will mold you, will mold the clay in you into what he wants to be. But he will never change you from being clay to being coarse sand or rock or another material. So you will always remain clay. But because of compromise and learning to do the things that my partner loves and working together, he'll be molded to a vase that will look good, and that he will love. But no real man will ever change your composition, and we find ourselves constantly changing, constantly negotiating with ourselves, constantly doing the things that we don't want to do, constantly doing the things that we feel like we should do, but they don't come naturally to us, especially around domestication or sacrificing of goals and dreams, and it's worrying because it's become the norm in our relationships. As soon as you get into a relationship now these days, you start molding your own self, carving your own self into wood or into some other thing that will help you become more attracted to this person. You lose little bits of yourself trying to be more for another person. And just because he said at some point that marriage is a possibility, marriage is only a possibility once he's engaged to you. Until then, it's fake game. Until then, there can be another woman. Until then, there can be another you. Until then, there can be another man. Until then, your whole relationship can change into something that you never thought it could be. So we need to stop allowing ourselves, to falling into that trap of abuse and manipulation, because we feel like at some point we're gonna get awarded by marriage. And marriage is never an award. It's a next step. It's not a promotion. It is a commitment. Marriage is just a commitment to be with you for life. Commitment. It's also a way to pay less tax. It's also a way to pay less insurance. So marriage is not necessarily what it used to be. It's not necessarily what's written in the Bible. But as we grow older, we realize that it's a commitment. It's binding yourself to someone, but it has to come from within. Because if it's just legal and it's just because we have to, it probably won't last, and it probably will end up in divorce. And no one wants to be a statistic. Clearly, no one